Brother Gary from Black Lives Matter. I'm hearing all this talk. I'm from Pawtucket, first of all. I want to say that, you know, Melissa is doing an unbelievable job. I'm proud of her. I mean, to watch this young lady rise like that and what she's going through. Let me just start by saying I love my city, and I'm from Pawtucket. And as an African American, Native American, that, you know, we endure so much pain quietly across the horizon. So, with that being said, you know, City Hall, when you talk about politics and officials, Pawtucket is really racist, and I mean that on a huge level. When you look around, I hear no talk about change for diversity of color. It doesn't mean Cape Verdean, Hispanic. That means everybody as a unit. You have to unite to make this world better. That means you eliminate, right, the bad politicians. You have to weed them out. Who's real and who's not. We vote these politicians in office constantly. Majority white people. And you have to call it what it is. I don't hear that here. So I'm saying not all white people are evil. I'm saying that today you look around in politics from the top to the bottom. It's corrupt. It's like a cancer. You know, I hear these, you know, these programs. No one's talking about education, right? We have to talk about our children, right? The past is the future. And we, as people of color, we're going to always call it out. We're going to constantly call it out. So that's why we're so adamant about this color thing. And it's not being addressed right now. It really is not. And that's the problem from policing police officers across this nation. I don't care if it's not happening in Pawtucket. It's happening, but on an economic scale. So if you see poverty, like the young lady just said about poverty, listen, we lived for years, for decades, under poverty levels, okay? So we know about being poor in America. So we have to fix that. As politicians, we vote you in. What are you going to do different for the people? You know, so I challenge anybody here about that. That's all.
Well, you talk about Melissa. I don't know if you're following any of the rest of us, but education is key. I've been telling people we've got our share of poverty in this city. And the way to reduce that is through education. Okay? When our kids get better educated, they get better jobs, they open businesses and everything else. I said from the beginning on the onset in this meeting, again, I've been in this city since 1957. I've been in the military, I've been overseas. I know about diversity, and I said that this city is one of the most diverse cities that I've ever come across. And I also said, I grew up on a street that, like Mr. Addison said, we were only 1% at that time, 1-2% minority. Now we're like 48% in this city, 49% minority. However, I will tell you this, I grew up with Italians, Irish, Portuguese, German. They are still my friends. This city, I believe in the people in this city, whether they're white or black. It's not the people, I agree with you. It's the government that we have now. It's the government that has to change. They're the ones that's been suppressing minorities because they want to keep the power. They're drunk on power. That's their problem. That's the disconnect. But I can assure you, sir, that in this city, both white, black, Spanish, French, Italian, the ones that I grew up with, they don't really see that coming. We get mad at each other, call each other that name or another name, whatever. I told these people when I worked on the racetrack predominantly black, they called me white boy. On my street, they used the N-word. Okay, but back then we could have our fight, we'd be friends the next day. This is a very diverse city. The people in this city, I believe, and these people are here because of that, because they're not worrying about diversity. They want to see things done for the city for everybody.
Thanks, Rob.
And I assure you, you elect me, that's what's going to happen.
Who'd like to go next?
I can go. I think what I'm doing different is I declared. This is not something that people really do. I'm so sorry. This is not something that people are used to doing, declaring to run for city council at large. The reason why I didn't run for city council, just my district, was because there is a divide, and I don't want to see it anymore, which is why my campaign is don't choose sides, choose peace. racism is a topic that people don't really like talking about. It's something that, brings up a lot of friction in the community. But it is something that needs to be addressed. And it's something that I have been having an ongoing conversation about for the last 10 years. Have things gotten a little better? Yes. But I did not run to make friends in the administration. I'm running to make change. And a lot of change needs to happen. So what am I going to do different? I hope I've answered your question, is to really make sure that, I can't change who I am, just like Jim Shaw. I can't change the color of the skin that I was born in. But I'm here to represent everybody, white, black, Cape Verdean, Spanish, and all. And I do know that through the years and everything that we've experienced as a world, there's been a divide. They've taught us to be apart and have separated us and segregated us. And it's really important for us to be electing officials who want to bring us back to one community and to unite. So,
Thanks. I'd like to go to Jim.
I would actually. As Melissa stated and I have stated, I can't change this. But you know what I can promise you? I won't be absentee. I won't not show up. I won't not want to sit down and talk with you and be your voice and tell you what needs to be done or what is your concern that needs to be addressed on the city council as one of your voices. I promise you I will not abandon, I will not show up. Because this job is about showing up for every community, every person, everybody in the city of Pawtucket. That's the promise I can make you right now.
I'll just add. So I just want to add the lack of representation that we see in our schools. I talked about this a little bit earlier. I think everyone has a little bit in terms of lack of representation in our city hall. It's quite apparent. That's why I'm running as an Afro-Latina. That's why I decided to run for office, because I want my daughters to see that this is something that they can do if they want to. We do need representation across the board in Pawtucket, and I think that's why we are all running. And I don't think that we've ever had this many people of color run ever in Pawtucket. But I think that's also a testament to the changes with the
I mean, we all have our differences, but I am proud to be among such a diverse group of candidates.
For real.
That is something we have not seen, like Janie said, perhaps ever, but at least since I've been watching politics, I have not seen that at the local level. My commitment to what I would do differently is, again, I would invest my time in listening to communities, especially those who have different viewpoints from mine. I have learned both as a professional and as a man that I cannot grow unless I surround myself with people who may disagree with me or who do in fact disagree with me, especially because we are legislating on issues that impact all of you. Whether you know it or you don't, your taxes impact you, your parks impact you, what streets we choose to plow, what streets we choose to clean, what streets we choose to do, all of that comes from a lens of our own biases. And what we need in an at-large candidate is someone who's willing to say, I have the perspective of someone who is not sitting on the council right now. And if you look at our council, it's very homogeneous. There's only one woman out of 9, right? And there are 8 males who are white. That doesn't jive with the population in Pawtucket. I will say this as well. The ladder of opportunity is one that we climb alone, but sometimes we forget that we need to extend the ladder to other people trying to get in. And I see a lot of politicians who become
30
elected
seconds.
and then they say, I have mine, I'm great. That's why I'm here today, because I wanted to hear actually the policy proposals of different people sitting around the table, because I want to know who I should support as well. We have 3 seats available, so even if I get in, it's not just me, right? And let's think of
10 seconds.
how can we help other people who want to become involved, who want to serve publicly, to do so as well in the future.